Hi, Marilyn here with Cotton and Chocolate. I'm back with Wave Pool month 2, and now we're going to talk about the piecing of this block. And so the first thing under sewing instructions, they're talking about doing the 4-patch. And so what I indicated is to not cut those 2 1/8 inch strips into squares, so that you're going to just strip piece them. And so you're going to take your fabric D and E and sew those to your background strips. And I sewed the whole strip, but actually, as a reminder, I had made this quilt a little while ago, but when I did it for this demo, you really don't need the full strip. You could really do about a 20-inch piece and have enough, because I have a lot left over. But in any case, sew your strip piece, and you're going to press to the dark. Okay, press that up to the dark on both of these. Okay, so these are my strip pieces, and then you're going to cut those off in 2 1/8 inch piece segments. Both of these, you're going to piece these together to get 12 segments of each to make 12 4-patches. So I made my 4 patches here. You can see these here, and then it doesn't matter which one you press to on the back. Doesn't make any difference. Okay, so you're going to get 12 of these. And then we're going to move on, so you can see your picture here, 12 segments, okay? And now we're going to start making our, what looks like a snail's trail. You'll see the finished piece here, and then again, we're making it here. So we'll make this segment here to get going. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be using those triangles from our 3 1/8 inch square. So that's going to be our smallest piece. So I'm going to put these aside. These will be our smallest triangle pieces that we have to start the piecing process. So what you want to be doing is orienting your block so it looks like this. So actually, because it's that orange square, which is our D fabric, you want to have that just like it has in the picture here on the bottom. And then this will be your piecing diagram. Piece 1 and 2, that's your start. You're going to put this one on first, this one on second, third, and fourth. Okay, so basically what that does is it matches your triangle color to your square and your triangle color to your square. Makes sense, right? You bet. So we're going to do this one first. And so when you do this, you're going to lay this down, and the easiest thing to do is just lay that point to that seam line. And then you can just pin that on, okay? Pin that on, and then hopefully that stayed matched, and mine moved a little bit when I was doing this, but make sure that it's matched together. And then I also make sure that my points are even, and that looks a little off, so I would adjust it so that I have the same amount of fabric on each side and realign that point there, okay? So match that up, all right, so that it's even on each side, okay? I do that for all 12, and then I just chain piece mine all the way along. So I have a couple pinned here, but I've also pieced some. Let me get this out of the way for the demo. Okay, so I've chain pieced some along already, and then I'm going to press this open, okay, to the triangle that we've added. Then the next thing you're going to do is add this other side, because if you could do the other side, but if you try to add this at the same time, you can't really see what you're aligning to. So I do one side at a time, all 12, okay, and then I go back and add this, all 12, and press these open, okay. Once I'm done with that, then I'll take my ruler and then align this here, and then just cut off those points that are sticking out, turn it around, cut off those points that are sticking out here. Okay, now I have a clean edge. Now, so that takes care of number 1, okay, and number 3, which is green on the top, that color, fabric E and D. So there we go. So now you're going to add sides 3 and 4, which are your background, okay? So here I have let's put those aside so you see that and that. So here I have this sewn on a background. I've aligned that point here, press out to the triangle, align this point here, press out to the triangle. Okay, so here this is, it looks like the picture here. I'll just set that there. Okay, so fabric 3, order 4, not fabric 3, but background and background, but the order 3, and then I add this one for all 12. So now you just have these points that are sitting out here, and then I take my ruler, I have these finished, these 2, okay, and then I've taken my ruler, aligned it with the bottom so that it looks even, and then trimmed off the points, aligned that with the bottom, trimmed off the point all the way around. So I've done that with all the blocks. So you now will turn this over and you have the same thing with your next fabric. So your next fabric is going to be fabric 5 3/4, which is your next size up. Okay, so we've worked with our smallest triangle. Okay, now we're going to work with our medium triangles that are cut from our 5 3/4 inch block. Okay, our medium triangles adding on. So again, orient your block so that it looks like the picture. So these are gold is our darkest color, so we're going to put that at the bottom. And so now it's kind of sitting on point. All right, so fabric 1, which is our green color, which is our light blue, which is our medium color, is going to go here. The dark is going to go here, so you're going to add that first. So now you have to line this up with a point. It's not going to be the original seam, but it's going to be a point. So that's going to be this point right here in the middle. So you see that? It's right there in the middle with even points hanging off on each end. So I adjust it so it looks right. I'm going to press that to the open. And then when I get all 12 done here, I'll align this point here, right in the middle. Okay. And then open that up and then move to my backgrounds. So I'll have those added so it looks like this. And then our very last one would be our largest triangles, which are left. And again, that would line up with our seam line again, just like we started with. And that would be our final blocks here in the very last opening. So you're just always aligning the block by the color and moving around all the way around, just like you started. So it's just a very easy process. There's just a lot to add on for 12 blocks. So it takes a little while, but it just works really methodically, and it actually is very easy as you move along the block. Okay, so, and then I just always cut off those edges on each one as I go along so that I don't have these sticking out. And you always have your 1/4 inch right here as you move along the block. So we just kind of sew in each section. And your final block should measure 9.5 inch square raw edge. And again, 12. And then you're going to hang on to these because we can't piece these in yet because we have some other things to make before we can put these around, which will come, I believe, in the next month or a little bit later. Okay, so there's our snail's trail. Have fun making your block, and we'll see you next month. Thanks.